benefits. Yeah, actually. Yeah. So basis of revenue model. So we have to see few factors like what is the market. If it is the online market, how our revenue model should be like. It should be easy to reach. Our marketing should be easy. If it is like our customers are like not really on online sites or online available, then we have to see how we reach them and what should be our revenues from the offline markets. Then our competitors, how they are doing their bringing the customers on board and collecting revenues. Then our value proposition, positioning, and cost structure. In cost structure also, there are multiple examples we can take. So HP printers are one of the example. So actually Epson and there were other, IBM was one of the pioneer company to come into the domestic printers. But HP took over the market very well, and the reason behind their cost structure. They started selling their printers at really less price, but they generated revenue from their inks what they were selling. Because in HP, this domestic printers only HP ink could we could use. So the cost structure also really important in designing our revenue model. So there are multiple types of revenue model. Definitely yes. Now people are like most of the startups are going with the hybrid revenue models. But here are few basic revenue models. So production model. There are a lot of example in production model where a manufacturer company takes some raw material, do value addition into it with the it's like putting the processes, assembly, machining, and then they sell it. So this is nothing but the production model where raw material is converted into something useful, and then we keep our profits and we sell it. So it is this production model. So rental model. So in rental model we have many examples like Zoomcar, then Drive Easy is there, and multiple companies are like buying assets which are useful and then they are renting it. So this is nothing but the rental revenue model. So ad-based revenue model. So like we use Google maybe 5-6 times a day. So we wonder, right, how this Google is running. So they actually we can see multiple ads. Like whenever we search anything on Google, we could see some same ads in YouTube and different like Amazon ads comes on. And whenever we search like maybe mixer grinder, we see some AD word and then Amazon it comes. So it is like ad-based business model Google is running, and which is really one of the now biggest company. So e-commerce model. So everyone knows, right? Flipkart, Amazon. These are nothing but the e-commerce model where they have created this platform and multiple retailers go there. They register over there and they sell their products, and this e-commerce website charges commissions. So these are e-commerce models. So fee for service models, like there are, as I like just told, like we are also into service and like we do consultancy in innovation and business model for projects for bigger companies. So we provide them service. So it is like they don't have particular resources. Any particular customer don't have their particular resources or expertise. So they like take help of the company which is expertise over there, and then they pay for it. It is nothing but paying for the service. This is service based model. Licensing model. So nowadays Indian market is also really good for patents and it is coming up really good. So where a small company with a really niche expertise in particular technology, they come up with their own patents and then they licensing for bigger companies. So then there are a few brands and formulas. For example, PepsiCo or Coca-Cola. So it is not this Coca-Cola is from US, but they do not make their beverages over their US and they don't sell it here. Actually, what they do, they just give formulas and license to here local beverage companies. For PepsiCo, you might have seen in Dharwad, in front of this Agri University College, Dharwad, there is beverage company. It is a local company, a domestic company from India. They have licensed this formula of Pepsi and they just make it over here. So this is nothing but the licensing model where a very concentrated or maybe formula, trademark or patent is we pay them and take it for a certain period of time, and then we make our product on that and then sell it, and we pay for this license. This is nothing but the licensing model. So markup model, you might have heard, right? White labeling. So few companies are really good at production. So what they do, they just do produce, but they are not good at branding, or they don't have the marketing channel or sales channel. So Eureka Forbes is like one company whose service network is really good. For example, now this vacuum cleaner or aquaguard, what we see as a filters, for that service is needed. For example, in a canteen, if aquaguard is not working for some days, the canteen may face issues, right? So service network is really important. Now, Eureka Forbes had really good service network. So what these people started doing is they just started buying out the white label products. They label it under Eureka Forbes and then sell it. So Filtrex is one of the company which actually supplies hard water softener, this domestic hard water softeners to this Eureka Forbes. So here Eureka Forbes just buy the white labeling, then mark up or label their own brand and then sell it. So this is one of the revenue model for this Filtrex kind of companies, the markup model. Auction based model. I'll take two examples. One is Cars 24. We cannot buy a domestic person or a civilian, an individual cannot buy cars from Cars 24, but a scrap maker or maybe big like dealers of second-hand owners, they can go there and beat their price, and then they can buy from Cars 24. So it is like auction based model. So this is one of the model, and again there is one company from Belgaum itself, that is nothing but eSolar. So what they do, if there is a requirement for putting up the solar on the commercial buildings, they just put that requirement on their website, or any company which are doing solar paneling, they can just go and bid there. So lowest to bid will get that work. So these are few auction based models. Next slide, please. So data sales model. So you might have heard, right? Data is a new gold. Why? Because going to a customer or acquiring customer takes a lot of resources and money. So having the specific data is really easy to do the business, right? For example, on Facebook we give lot of data, like what is our age, what we do, where we live, and then we go on posting our things. With the AI and ML, Facebook learns like what is our personality and what we do. So then whenever we post something, for example, if we are posting shoes, really fancy shoes, so then in fancy shoes only college or teenagers are interested, right? What Facebook do is they just go and put their ads on this only profile. Whenever we see young people, then only we can see these fancy shoes. And then where is like for example maybe medicinal ads are need to be there, they just post on whose age is more than maybe 40-50. So they have a lot of data, and they give this data to like they can sell. If we have given them permission, then they sell this data to this maybe bigger companies who are into sell, like very specific data. What is the age of this profile, what they do, and personalities. From this, they for this bigger company, it is really easy to reach out to us very specifically. So transactional enablers. Whenever we do some transaction, maybe nowadays Flipkart, Amazon have their own this payment gateways, but you might have seen the companies who don't have that much traffic. You may see it direct us to a third-party payment gateway. We might see, right, whenever we do for the book or the purchase option, it comes like it is taking us to the payment gateway. So Razorpay is one of the example for this thing, which actually enables us to do the transaction online. So marketplace model. So OLX is one of the example where we can go and put our ads for maybe any use thing over there. So it is nothing but the marketplace, right? Whenever something is needed, people come there and they look for a few things, and they, if suitable, they buy it. So it is nothing but the marketplace. Now it is booming, freemium model. So to acquire the customer, advertising is again the major cost. So to give or get a person addicted, few of the apps, they give us the services for free initially. There are a lot of example. Amazon is there, then Amazon Video is one of them. Hotstar is there. So initially they give it free, and then they give us an option for premium where we can see those videos maybe earlier, and there are few premium videos we can see. So it is like free, they give it to just to get us addicted or do their advertising, and then they charge us for premium models. So these are few examples for premium models. So affiliate model. So there are a few companies who works on background. MobiKwik is one of the this company. They work on background to just charge us. Like in this model, we can see like for example, I'm building a app. So I cannot go and ask people to come and put ads, or I'll ask them like I'll put ads of yours and then pay for me. I don't have those many customers, right, to come on my app and post their ads. So there are few companies, advertisement agencies, uh, they have this customer, and they then say me that for if my traffic on my app is this much, then they will pay me this much. So this like these are the mostly ad or the background working companies. So subscription model. Netflix is one of the really good example where customer has to pay for the particular period of time. Now this car manufacturers also coming with a subscription model, because once I buy the car, then it is liability for me for 8 years, right? But I might change my location from Belgaum to Bangalore or somewhere else. So I will just subscribe it for the certain period of time and then use it for certain period of time. For that I am paying for it. So donation where so Wikipedia is really good example because it runs and it is really helpful for us, right, to study, to get our knowledge enhanced. But who is paying for it? There are no ads, that much ads comes on the Wikipedia because mostly people will concentrate on the content, right? So it runs on the donation where like if people feels it is good and helpful for people, people will pay. So we'll just discuss few recent example for this revenue model. So 2 years back we worked on a idli making machine. We'll just discuss it lively. So how much efficiently we can generate or get maximum out of our customer. Uh, just a second. So one of actually professor from KLE Hotel Management itself approached us for to build a instant idli making machine, because for most of the South Indians, 80% of South Indians, idli is a like very basic thing, and 80% of the people eat idli as breakfast daily. And at least in Bangalore kind of metro cities, it is really easy and healthy for them. So he was like to give a proper idli, a hygienic idli to everyone. He was dreaming for it. Then, because he comes from this hotel management or maybe food technology background, he didn't had the technology or manufacturing kind of expertise. He approached us. So then we were just like analyzing maybe feasibility of the business model, because a person who sells a idli in small canteens is really work efficiently, because we see, right, uh, beside the street of Bangalore we can get idli, a plate of idli at 20 rupees. So we can guess how much efficiently he is working. So we were just like wondering if this kind of people will really buy our machine or no. So we sat on the business model and we were discussing. So we'll just go into like just revenue model from where we can get this money back, investing our this R&D of the idli making machine, then manufacturing of it, selling of it. How much we can get? We were just like discussing, and we'll just discuss now the revenue model of this idli making machine. So we were planning to sell this, or maybe the customer buying power for idli making machine was 10 lakh. We analyze this machine. Whenever we sell, because after that one update comes and our phone start hanging or it gets slow down, because these people want us to buy another phone. So our whenever we are selling, we should see this customer should buy another machine, or it should not be so less that he should not he stop just buying it also. So this product life is also very important. So we planned our machine should withstand run at least 5 years, and the buying power is around 10 lakhs. And as per like golden rule, 30% of sales, 30% of the sales is nothing but the profit. It should be there, and net profit should be around 20%. So when we sell our idli making machine at 10 lakh, 2 lakhs will be our profit. So what do we friends suggest, like what is the, like this is the really good revenue model? What do you guys think? Or any idea from how we can increase our profit, or maybe how to maximum monetize our customer? Any idea from where can we get? So service is one of the point, like we see, right, for warranty, cars manufacturer or any brand make us compulsion for at least 3 years we have to get our vehicle service in their service centers, because service also in service also we can actually get really good revenues. So these are the few figures in a service. First year, definitely yes, we have to give warranty. So there will be a free service. For next 4 years, definitely there is will be wear and tear in our machine. There may be some belts or few consumables we have to sell them. So at least 20,000 what we were expecting out of will get service. So for 4 years it was around 80,000. So now the customer, if we were only selling it, then we were getting 2 lakhs of net profit. But now it has, now for one customer we are getting 2,80,000. So any more we can get out of this customer? Any idea? Yeah, definitely that is we have, yeah, service. Yeah. So batter is one thing. Initially, as I like just kept you in front of you, that HP printers, they're like, they come up with this really innovative model of selling printers at less cost, but charging on their this ink, because this product or it is one-time sales, but this ink is recurring sales. Whenever, like, we can, with implementation we can increase our pricing, right? We can keep on adding our profits. So these are the number of batters. For 10 lakh of machine, easily he will buy 50 kg of batter. And yes, we have filed 3 patents on this machine, and major design innovation is we have kept something like this. Only our batter pocket can sit into this. So this person can use only our batter. So this is one of the good thing, and he can at least use 50 kg of batter, right? And here we will charge really less profit, because he have to keep on buying us with us, and his business model also should work, right? For him also idli cost should work. So only 1 rupees of profit per kg, that is 50 kg of batter, then 365 days and 5 years. So that is nothing but the 90,000 rupees. So again we added. So anything else we can get out of this customer? Any idea? Yes.
Sir,
Yeah. Yeah.
better price is not considered.
It is around 60 rupees, but for us it is nothing but profit, right? If I am selling batter, if I am making at 60 rupees and giving him at 60 rupees, so I am earning anything? No, right? It is nothing but 1 rupees of profit. So that is 365. Next. For him, plates are also really important, right? It was an automatic idli making machine where plate will come and it will put idli, because it is really hygienic machine. So on plates also we can keep our profits, right? So for 50 kg of batter, it is around 60 idlis. So nothing but the 30 plates of idli. And only 50 paisa of profit per plate, and he was definitely he would sell around 1500 plates. So this was few of the figures we got. 13 lakhs of profit from the plates what we will sell, and this plate design should be ours because the plate laying arm would be designed by us itself, right? So only we can sell the plates to these guys. So these were the few products. Now, yeah, next slide, please. Yeah, so this could be a total revenue, not just revenue, it is actually the profit what we can get of selling one machine at just 10 lakh rupees. So here the most important point we have to look now. If we could only sell machine also, we have to put on the same efforts. We have to go him, visit him, tell. We have to create the marketing around all the customers saying hygienic idli is important. Effort is everything is same. Only thing is whenever we initially sit as an entrepreneur, this is the difference between the entrepreneur and normal business guy. We look for the longer picture. It is nothing but just 5 days of sitting and then discussing whatever max we can get. So this is the important of very efficient revenue model. Efficient maybe high efficiency revenue model, because our customer acquisition cost was same, everything was same, but now just taking profit of 2 lakh, it has come to 13 lakhs. So this is how the startups works. And like we might have heard, right, there are companies, it is 25 years old of company and it has got some 2 acres of land and everything, but now we can see how fast the startups are growing. This is the difference between really efficacy based revenue model to startups. So this was the one example. And still there now just recently we figure out one more thing we can add to this model. So any idea, anything, uh, what else we can get out of our customer, or from where else we can get revenue in this particular model? There is a machine, our batter is poured, idli is made, idli is served into plate. Yeah, definitely less chutney also we can go in future, a concentrated one, instant making chutney, then hot water pour into it. Yes, that is one thing.
Branding, branding of
Branding?
branding of the store.
Branding, yeah.
Store brand.
So, yeah, so we have like just brainstorming over an idea, advertisement in the plate. We have to look into plates, right? Whenever we eat, so we can give see any companies like for example morning we are eating idli, right, most of the time. So we can approach big this hotels or something, and we can tell them morning there will be like tempting maybe like biryani or something, ad will be there and the address of a new hotel. So while eating idli he will look into it, and he may go into afternoon or the evening to those stores, right? So we can charge for advertisement for the different hotels or maybe something else, right?
But why will the present hotel manager will allow you to advertise about another hotel?
Not idlis. Yeah, that is one point. It is again creating our own competition also. Maybe not food then or something else. Yeah,
Sir, instead of allowing charging for the plates, we can provide these plates free
yeah,
and
yeah,
earn a revenue through it.
yeah, yeah. That is also one thing. Yeah, there is a company. Yeah, this is really good and actually, hello. Yeah, one of the companies is actually doing this. Idea is really good because this kind of idea we have to get which are actually working, right? It is really feasible idea, and one of the companies doing it. It is giving free cups for these tea vendors, and the advertisement is done.
ID Factory, sir. ID Factory,
ID,
which is he has come up with his own dosa, this one, vada,
Vada
and that is being
design.
patented.
Yeah, yeah, true, ma'am. Definitely, he will be. He is one of the competition for this
Correct.
machine.
This.
Yeah, but it is. We may think this as an indirect competition because people are now getting instant this batters and vadas. They may make it at home and they will not do the nasta outside in metro cities. So it is an indirect competition for this now.
Vending machines can be a future for this.
Vending.
Directly, instead of having a location,
Yeah, yeah,
directly if we automate a vending machine,
yeah, yeah.
then
Yeah, definitely yes. Actually, whenever we look, right, whenever we do patent is for 20 years, right? We see how we can. Uh, our machine should not be like a really a old one to work in a future this thing. So we look how our machine can work till 20 years, how we can license our patent for 20 years. So definitely yes, we see how much we can see like market will be, how much we can predict, we predict and design our machines like that itself. Next slide.
There is view.
Thank you. So there are again, while I was here, just came up with a few another example for very really efficacy based like a revenue model, really important revenue model. We know this AccuCheck, right? Yeah. So initially they were charging around 3,000 for one machine. Now it has come to just 600 to 700 rupees, but the strips to check the glucose cost they have increased because there are a lot of competition. So they are selling this machine at really cheap price. Definitely yes, I'm like very much sure because we come from this background. They are selling at loss. This AccuCheck machine, this digital machine, they are selling at some loss, but they are generating profit with these strips because this strip definitely will cost less than 50 paisa or 1 rupees for sure, but they are selling it at maybe 25 rupees a strip. There they are generating revenue and mitigating their losses. So there are a lot of business model we can go into and look for whenever we sit, whenever we you guys try to come up with idea, right? It is not only if it is solving problem or no, we have to see how our business model is sustainable and how much max we can get out of a customer. So this was just one example. We have multiple products. We come, sit and discuss maximum efficacy based revenue model, and then we start, because we can then get like we have to get lesser investment. We could liquidate our lesser equity. So yeah, this is about revenue model. I'll just share few of our experience little. Recently we came up with why entrepreneurship important and what we get as entrepreneurs, because we are discussing here revenue model, right? So satisfaction is one thing we look for from our revenue. Whatever we are doing, satisfaction is one thing. So I'll just share you the recent example. So how entrepreneurship important and how we feel satisfaction whenever we start or something own. So just maybe last week we have a workshop in Atanagar as well as in Bangalore. So here it is actually a rented place. In COVID we shifted here, and here we are at a rented place. So our landowner was here in our premises, and he was like yeah, he spoke with me in Marathi, but I'll just translate it in Hindi. आप इतना यंग हो, बहुत सही कर रहे हो, पैसा कहाँ पे भी वेस्ट मत करो, आप नहीं करते हो, बट एक एडवाइस देना चाहूँगा, you people should buy the lands and invest, you keep on investing, he told me. And one of our employee was there, a really experienced employee, one of our senior employee and our FRP head. So he was like, when our landlord went, he was like, सर वो बहुत सही बोल रहे हो सर, बट मुझे आपका एक चीज़ आप मतलब जो इतना यंग लोग होके काम कर रहे हो, एक चीज़ अच्छा लगा, सिर्फ आप लोग नहीं कमाते हो, ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा लोग लेके आके कंपनी बिल्ड करने का सोच रहे हो. अभी हम इतना 15 लोग ऐसे हैं, सर आप 15 लोग करके मत सोचो, एक्चुअली यू आर फीडिंग मोर देन 60 पीपल, because having their family, it is more than 60, right? We as an entrepreneur, we do not just see how more we get our revenues and invest somewhere else, but we also see to increase our company size, right? So this is how when we start our own journeys, we could actually support multiple families. So this is one of the things I wanted to share. Yeah, thank you. Yeah. So any question, please feel free to ask. It is working. Yeah.
Sir, I had a question about the at the point of sale of this project of idli making machine. We have around a profit of 20%. So at that profit, sir, you have spent a lot on research and development, and there must be a lot of loans. So factoring all that, is 20% profit enough for that?
Gross profit should be more than 30 to 35%.
Yes.
It is nothing but the net profit.
Net profit of
20%.
yes.
In gross profit, we have to see everything. Our whatever overhead we have earlier invested, their interest, like EMIs, whatever we have to pay, everything, and then taxes also go on our profits, right? Income tax everything goes. Our net profit should be actually 15%, but yes, definitely we don't know, right? Whatever comes, anything
So,
might come.
because what I see is a lot of businesses cannot sustain the R&D costs before coming to the markets. We fail.
Yeah.
So how did you overcome that, sir? The R&D costs.
Okay. Actually, it is nothing but the consultancy, but I'll share our experience and how we should segregate the costing. Definitely, you guys know there are fixed costs and working capital is required. So, yes, whenever calculating BEP, we have to consider this point. But we cannot see like initial itself, we could get that investment out, because while selling, right? Yes, multiple companies, like, or maybe initially we also did that mistake of, like, because initially we had invested 30 lakhs on our fertilizer feeding machine. We tried dividing that cost with our machine cost, and our machine costing was around 6,000, and we were selling at 7,500. But the farmers' buying power was not that much. So we really cannot always consider our investments. We have to also see the buying power of the customer. Definitely there will be small profits, but we have to sell in volume, and then we have to break down that investment and get it out, because only if we look into investment and get that out, the cost will be higher and customer may not buy. So buying power of the customer is also very important in this costing.
Thank you, sir.
Good morning, sir. My question was like, as present, the emerging startups that takes place, basically we always have unrealistic expectations of finance in the future. As you have planned the entire revenue model, will it turn the same for the next 5 years, or there will be up and downs in the revenue model? So how can you motivate the people to have a realistic expectations or have a proper revenue model for the upcoming years?
Yeah, I'll come to this point. Actually, just 2-3 years back, we had this kind of we were having that kind of ego or attitude. We had get it, like we are really good at planning and everything. For big companies, directors and everyone, we were telling we have to see in detail and plan in detail. Then we have to execute the things. But COVID taught us really good in a really good manner, right? We cannot plan everything. We suffered really good in COVID. Just switch it off. Yeah. In COVID, maybe last week of every month, last week of hello. So last week of every month, almost we were kind of crying for to pay the salaries, because every employee had families and everything. And just before COVID, we were doing really good. Our team was came to a really reasonable size. We had calculated everything. We had calculated like about our cost structure, about our investment. We had calculated everything. But once the COVID hit, earlier we were selling around 250 to 350 machines per month. But once the COVID hit, we were just selling 5 to 6 machines every month, right? We had planned everything, but that it was like we cannot change it, right? The COVID situation. So we were crying, but now again sales had boost. So definitely yes, we cannot plan everything. We have to go. We have to change accordingly. sometimes we have to pivot our business model. Before COVID, we were just doing assembly of the machines, but after during this COVID period, a lot of our vendors shut their companies. So now we started doing FRP recently, and now we have opened up our own FRP venture. So these are few things, right? We change our business model, we change our way of working. Also, we came into a different sector also of production. Yes, about the cost structure. So having one-time sales is something like 2 lakhs of profit, but here we can see this batter clause, plate cost. According to implementation, and everything, we have to change the costing day on day. Yeah.
So you mentioned earlier about the VAT that provides the profit size of the one your company provides to the company. But as a company's point of view, it might be a profit earning way. But then as a consumer point of view, I mean, do you really think that every consumer is going to pay till the VAT comes to their place? I mean, don't you think that they're going to offer something they want, which is available everywhere?
So this batter is nothing but again the sales, right? So we have to see what is our USP, what is our this value proposition. It has to reach them in time. It has to work for him also about the cost way. For him to do batter, again he needs a different machine to make it into batter. Then he also need to buy this rice, this urad dal, everything. So to sell this batter also, we have to give him USP, value proposition, everything. But we have to see it. Other person can also do the same kind of nozzle of our packet. For that purpose, we have done this pattern. And if this pattern is not working from him right, he will just discard this machine. No other person also will buy our machine. So to get that 90,000 right, you have to again see everything should work in proper way. Definitely yes. There also we have to put effort. Without efforts, we cannot get that much money also. So there are few points we have to look it into to get that profit.
So then how would you actually tell them? Do you like deliver to them or do they have to come to your store and buy the...
We have to deliver them. Yeah, it is nothing but the profit. It is not like in 90,000 for 5 years we are giving the batter. It is just the profit. There are different costs, and the cost of selling is different. So this model was nothing but the example of what max what we can get. So this machine or maybe this printer is nothing but just the tagging to our customer. But for a particular reason, he will be using these machines, right, or maybe products. So whenever he is using, he may get some raw material, right. From that also, how much more we can get profit. So this is not that is the example for this model. So any other questions?
Any more questions? Anything? So there are some people who use extra ingredients in their batter.
Yeah.
So what do you do about that?
We can give them flavored batters at some higher rate.
So
Right.
don't you think that will affect their flavor?
Okay. So we love Nescafe or this instant beveraging cafe machines, right? The major point coming with this machine was this, like that in those days, multiple people were traveling in railways, right? Premium class people. So they were not getting the same taste of coffee everywhere. So they started using this coffee vending machine where concentrated concentration was coming from Nescafe. So again, it is a plus point from with our machine. Everyone will get the same quality of batter and same taste of batter. Sometimes we see right here we know right in Belgaum where we can get good nashta, but whenever in Bangalore we do not know right. And when in Bangalore in one side of city we get good idlis, we know the place where to go and get the breakfast. But once we can in our outlet we can say this is idli vending machine of this company. Here the customer comes and eat good idlis. So whenever he see our next word, he will go and eat there. Same taste, same quality of idlis.
For example,
Mhm.
anyone who is buying your machine, right?
Mhm.
10 lakh rupees for the machine. There will be some renowned hotel owner.
Yeah.
Like, he won't touch on your batter for the volume, right? Because he is selling his own batter, and people like that batter or that taste. If this changes, the machine for him is a waste.
So these people are nothing but our like competition, right? So what is the best way to break the competition, or what is the best way? We have to make better than them, right? So this is the only option. And then about the cost, right? What your maximum amount of batter big hotel guy can do? It depends, right?
Yeah.
But we will be having multiple machines and multiple outlets, right? So who will be doing it in volume? We.
So, but
So,
the thing is,
mm.
his customer will ask for his quality, like his
His
taste.
taste.
Okay, for
Because the
niche.
taste they've been
Coming
coming
there
to his,
repetitively, and
Yeah.
wants to, yeah, this machine happens.
and suddenly because of
Start
the
selling
flavor,
this.
the taste is changing. Then what about
And the thing is, we cannot add our own batter into it, right?
Yeah.
Then again,
So these kind of hotels will not buy this machine. Actually, the basic idea of making this machine at maybe metro stations they were talking. Actually, this is our not product. We have consulted a company, and we are. I'm mechanical engineer. We are team of engineers. We are actually helping them to build this machine at some cost. We are nothing but consultant, and on business model also we have consulted them. The basic idea was to keep this machine out of metro stations, or very busy areas where people are not getting good, maybe industrial areas somewhere. So these kind of really famous guys are our competition, and if we try to like really uh, uh, fight with this kind of guy, we will lose the other bigger market. So if someone is selling really good idlis, his chutney flavor is everything is good, but we found really rarely right this kind of famous hotel where people stand in a queue. If we try to fight him right, we will lose our other volume market. Thank you so much. Just go to the first slide. So we are looking for active interns for our new FRP venture. So anyone want to come up with their own company, uh, you can do internship with us. Anyone is looking to work with the startup to get some experience and come up with your own venture after some days, please put us or mail us. Uh, okay, it is in really small letters, but it is info@aats.in. I'll just share our company email ID with ma'am. Anyone is interested to do internship, paid internship with us, just put us the resume. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for providing us. Thank you, sir, for providing us an insight of the revenue model and the types of it and simplifying the concept for us. We definitely gained a lot of knowledge in this session. And now we will be continuing with the second session, which is we will be continuing with the second session, which is pitching business ideas to the investors. I would now request Ms. Snehal Mulwadmat to address our speaker.
Good morning, everyone. It's a great honor to introduce our today's speaker, Mr. Abhishek Jakannava sir. Sir is the founder and CEO of Brightbee, and he is the mentor of Change Atal Tinkering Lab. He was also the founder and CEO of Infinity Innovation. Moving on to his education, Sir has completed his schooling in pre-university from Kendriya Vidyalaya and his bachelor's from KL Engineering College. Some of his achievements are: Sir is the winner of Karnataka Startup Program Elevate and got selected among top 90 startups in the Karnataka store. He developed and published Android app Invention 2018, a national level technical fest on Google. He conducted workshop on utility software training, especially for girls. He also conducted an Android workshop for over 1,200 students of undergraduation and post-graduation over a time span of 3 years. He was selected as one among the 7 students all over India to be teaching assistant under Daniel Galpin at the Google Developers Day. It's a great pleasure to have you with us at KV Subal. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Ms. Mary. We will now request Sir to please take over the session.
Audible? Okay. Are you guys excited? Yes, no, don't know. Because I'm seeing there is no energy. When we call about entrepreneurship, innovation, entrepreneurship, what is the first thing that comes to once to your mind? Energy, right? Now, let me ask you one question. How many of you like watching movies? Right? Everybody? You enjoy movies, right? Now, my next question is, why do you like watching movies, but you enjoy it? Why? Because there is thrill. There is thrill, there is emotions, there is process, there is action, right? And that is what I'll try to make the next 1.5 hours. A movie. Are you interested? Yes. Are you interested? Yes, sir. How many of you want to become entrepreneurs? You know, I'll tell you how we can identify a person who wants to become an entrepreneur, okay? I'll just give you my example. If I ask to become an entrepreneur and somebody says like this, right? It means it's like shady. This is body language, I tell you, okay? You make it like this, it is like you are saying, okay. But then if I have a question and you say this, right? It shows your confidence. It shows that you want to become an entrepreneur. So I'll ask you a question again. Who wants to become an entrepreneur? Right? Great. Right? So I'll make it very much engaging, entertaining, right? I don't like attending boring lectures. I don't like attending boring lectures, right? Because I never attended my classes because that is how my classes were, right? And that is how I don't want this to become. Right? Otherwise, this door always open, right? You can always give, right? Because this is not a mandate, okay? So what we will be talking about today, right? Very simple things. First of all, is this stupid person standing in front of you is it worth giving 1.5 hour of time to him, right? Does this make sense? Or else just because the management has made you sit for attendance, right? You have to be there, right? And then what is entrepreneurship all about? Is what we will be talking about. The 3 pillars of value creation. How to decide a startup idea. How did I decided that this is a startup idea? You get hundreds of ideas, right? One of the first idea I got for me is right, I set up a Xerox center right in front of college. Profitable, sustainable business. No revenue model calculation. Rokka barata. Turko pass aage bidi. Fail atandra matte Xerox barta. Profit. Right? Now, what actually my startup does? What Brightbee does? Various funding schemes. If you want to start up, right? You want to start up. Right? Otherwise, because you say, if I want to start up, I need at least 5-10 lakh rupees of capital to start up with, and then I start, right? How many of this idea that give up the idea, I start nothing, but I don't have 5 lakh, 10 lakh rupees of capital to start? How many of you think in this way? I have an idea, I want to start, but I don't have the capital to start. How many have this idea? But what if I tell you, you can start your idea without spending a single penny. And I'll show you how I did it, and I'll tell you the formula also how you can start it right from today. Then I'll talk you about various funding schemes, how to pitch for funding, and then we'll have Q&A if you guys speak. Okay, next slide. Okay. So I think my introduction was already given by me, but just to give you a brief, I'm a civil engineer by profession. I mean not profession, by graduation. Okay. I'm a 2018 graduate from the same parent family, KV family from engineering college, Udyampa. So in my college, I was never interested in civil engineering. I was always a techie guy. I wanted to remove those computers, do all those things. So I got selected as Google Soon ambassador for Karnataka, where in that process I trained around 4,500 students all building technological labs. And one of the sarcastic things is that I started my company because I did not get jobs in any of the companies. Right? But there is a but there, right? But the students who I trained got around 9 lakh rupees package. Right? Now the question was why you did not got placed. Right? The very simple answer was I belong to a civil department, right? And then I was given a statement by a placement officer saying that core companies are civil than Telsa. You guys understand English? Hindi Navra? Yes, no, don't know? Or should I switch to Kannada, Hindi, Marathi, Bengali? Marathi? I don't want to start a fight now. Let's keep it professional. We'll enjoy the movie, but let's keep it very much professional. Right? It's all about uncertainty. Right? So, I did that, I trained on 4,500 students, I placed them, but very simple thing which I could not place was I told the story. But then in the same next week, I built an app, which we told, right? And that stood out as world's largest mobile app. Right? World's largest mobile app in terms of event section. Right? But I tell you how things changes in your life, right? So none of the companies wanted to even give me an interview. I told them that you just give me 10 minutes inside, I'll take my job. But they even did not allow that. But after doing that, there are 10 companies offer letter comes to me who said that, would you like to join a company? Right? And that particular moment, I said that if I can help 20 students get 9 lakh package, I am going to help at least 5,000 students get more job. And that is what Bright is all about. So that is when I started my first company. It is called as Invention and Innovation. We are building a smart energy modeling system. At that point in time, I was a pure engineer. You understand what is a pure engineer? A person who knows how to build. I know how to build this model. I don't know anything about revenue model, sales, marketing, finance, all those things I don't know. Because I'm an engineer, right? And that is how I lost around 18 lakh rupees in 2018-19. 18 lakh rupees of what I lost in my first startup. I shut it down. Right? My team members left me because right? Happens. That is when I decided that I need more knowledge. Right? And how knowledge comes? Only once you start realizing where you are failing, you start introspecting. That is when you see what is the next step you have to take. And that is when I joined India's largest incubation center, that is Sandbox Startups. So I worked with them for about 1.5 to 2 years, where now I could see my mindset was very simple. I am okay if they don't pay me. But then I want to understand they had around 110 startups. So I said, for me to learn a lot of things, I spent 18-20 lakh rupees, right? If I learn how these 110 startups are working, I can build my next startup. At least I have to get learning phase, right? And I can know everything. I have access to everything. I get to know that. So I worked there for 2 years. I was part of various fundraising processes also. I helped a lot of people start companies also. In that process, basically it's kind of mini MBA, correct? Free MBA, I would say that, with paid, because I was getting salary also, right? And that is how I finished, and that is when COVID hit, and then I knew that this was a time, that there is no perfect time to start a company. I said, this is COVID, right? In 2 years, nobody, because COVID is such time that nobody will think of starting a new company, right? Because it is such uncertainty. But I thought this is the right time to start my company. Right? And that is when in 2020 March, I actually started operations of my company, which is completely alright. So just go back, back. You. Okay. So that is how I started company. In the due process, I got associated with Untitled Tinkering Labs. I am mentor of stage for St. Joseph and Divine Province for helping them into innovation entrepreneurship. And recently, just 3 months back, we have also launched a TEDx event in Belgaum, this TEDx Tilakwadi, and I'm kind of a core member for them, right? So I think that's summarized, and now it is up to you to judge if it makes sense to stand in front of this guy or leave the room, right? Next. Okay, so I will be talking purely like a student, okay? Because I come from student background. I'm just like 2-3 years pass out, right? A student wants to do a lot of things in his life. How many of you believe with me, right? Bahas ಮಾಡೋದೈತಿ ಏನಂದ್ರೆ ಮಾಡೋದೈತಿ ಬಟ್ ಏನು ಮಾಡೋದು ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ ಅದೇ ಮಾಡೋದೈತಿ agree, right? You want to build fame, name, all those things. These are all the things I wanted to do in 2018. So that is the reason I keep that slide on every presentation I make. Why? It makes me remember, it makes me know that how far I have come by removing all those things. So the biggest thing is that if you try to do everything, you don't do anything, right? So I wanted to train students, which I already did. Around 4,500 students I did, right? I wanted to build mobile apps. I was a technological geek. I was building mobile apps. I love infographics. So I used to build a lot of content on Instagram. I wanted to become a YouTuber as well. So I have already so from 7th, 8th Sunday I started building some videos on YouTube also. But I did not know how to monetize this and how it is going to build my career, so I left it. I wanted to do public speaking, which you see I am doing it right now. And then entrepreneurship was also on my list, right? Because I was always inspired by what Steve Jobs did in 2007, right? Because I watched that movie 200 times. I said, "ऐसे ही बनना है," right? So this is what I'm coming is purely from students' point of view, right? You want to do all these things, right? Maybe you have cultural focus, you want to have some academic focus, you want to have some your own aspirations, maybe out of box, fashion designing, music, all those things, right? But the thing is, what is the thing that is stopping you from that? Is getting clarity, right? You are not sure like jump ಹೊಡೆದಂದ್ರೆ ಮುಂದೆ career set ಆಗ್ತದೋ ಇಲ್ಲೋ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅವಪ್ಪ ಬೈತಾರೆ ಬೇರೆ ಮಾತಾ ಅದರ ನಮ್ಮ ಮಾಮ ಮೌಶಿ ಬಂದು ಬೈತಾರೆ ಒಂದು ಯಾಕೆ ಮಾತು, right? This is what happens. So I started with everything. If you see all those things, I started with everything, and you know what all things I'm doing correctly, right? So just go next, right? In the meantime, I got a mentor as well. I mentor from SPJ in Mumbai, and then I asked him, this is what I want to do. He said, you go and try to do as much as possible. How much is possible? He can just after the smart node, right? And you know what I tried to do? I tried to do all those things. And what happened after I tried to do all those things? Next. This is what happens when you try to do all the things. Agree with me? Yes? No? Yes? Okay. So focus on one thing and see how you can scale it up. And all those things will fall in places. Right? Next. Right? So you take one thing, you try to scale it up, and then apart from this, all those things will fall in place. So I built technology, and now I said that the focus is purely on entrepreneurship, and when I'm doing entrepreneurship, by default, public speaking is coming automatically on my way, right? And once I'm doing that, automatically the content which is recorded is going to my YouTube channel, right? Next. Now, what is entrepreneurship? The very specific reason I have put this slide is because I don't want to read this slide. Because this is what is taught in our colleges, right? Textbook language. Tell me, what is entrepreneurship? People who want to become entrepreneurs, I am asking, what is entrepreneurship? It is the first time a backbencher is speaking. Claps. To make the backbencher speak, you have to become the backbencher. Remember that. Yeah, please.
Someone who solves a social cause or social problem and fulfills his personal obligations is known as entrepreneur.
Yes, I agree with that. So ultimately, making profit. So how I would put it as business, entrepreneurship and all those things is like, I don't remember all the things, but I say, very simple thing. One thing is, entrepreneurship means freedom. You try to do what you want to do. Two is, you become sustainable and profitable. Right? It is basically dhanda. Chai down in marathon. That is it. That is business. Right? You make it 10 rupees, you sell it 15 rupees, that is business. Right? There is no technical aspects required to that. Next. Right? Now you tell me what is the difference between invention and innovation. Simple words, right? Even a third standard kid should understand that. Invention and innovation are different in other.
Invention is when you make something out of your own self, and innovation is when you recreate something or make it a better version.
Definitely, it sums it up. So let's go to the next slide. Right? So invention is something you already have, you try to put lot of efforts to build that first step of process. Right? Invention. Wheel was an invention. Right? Whereas a motor car is an innovation. Right? You build on the things which are already built now. Right? Similarly, when .com boom happened, World Wide Web, Internet was an invention, right? But now you see all the applications, Netflix, Amazon Prime, Ola, Uber, all those things are building on top of that. You are using the fundamentals, right? Are innovations, right? Now, how many of you have seen this on the Instagram? Netflix did not kill Blockbuster, ridiculous late fees did, and all those things. How many have seen this on Instagram? How many have seen this? Everybody's seen it, right? So basically, why did I put this slide? Very specifically to tell you that what solution exists today is not going to solve tomorrow's problem, right? And then what? You have to keep on innovating. You have to keep on innovating to see how things. So most of the students come and ask me, sir, I had 10 ideas, but the things are already implemented, right? The things are already implemented. Now, how do I do that? Tomorrow, a new problem will come, right? So if you see, just your journey of watching movies. The first was they had to, initially they used to see wait for getting tickets, waiting tickets, right? And that time said that, oh, if that was his thing, right? But you see, tomorrow what happened? People don't need to go to theater to watch movies, right? Now that is innovation. Now that is changing with time. Now, again, the online platforms came into picture. Now, even after movies, now there are online platforms are coming into picture, right? And now if you see the whole process is shifting towards content in terms of accessibility is getting very easier now, right? So what is the intention behind putting these things? Very simple, right? You have every single opportunity today and even tomorrow for building a new startup. Okay, next. First of all, are you enjoying this? Yes, no, don't know. It's like yes, it's yes. Yes. Okay. So fundamentally, right? What I try to do is I never understand these complicated things. So I try to make things very simple as possible. Let us say if there is universal law which I want to understand about business, right? Hat book right? Hat book publisher. Yeah, was khali kutta book right? Right? That happens. But see, it is all about common sense, which is not so common nowadays. Right? So, what is business? Right? Now I'm going to the deep level. I've set a context now. Now I'm going to deep level. What is? See, business is not about making profits, but it is also about the value creation you do for a customer. Are you getting this? If you understand my next 3 to 4 slides, right, and you walk away from the session, you will almost get 90% of the session for today, right? If you focus for next 3 to 5 sessions, next to 5 slides, right? So if you focus on only these things, that is it. That is business, right? Because what people think is when I say, what I can say, Bharat Pe, you just see the $1 billion which is piling up, right? Imaginary $1 billion which is this is what comes to your mind? Yes, no? Right? When I say Ola, right? But then, see, that is a byproduct of the value you provide, right? So, what we should do, there is fundamentally everything, right? Anything. You give me any product, maybe this might be a mic, this watch, or even this table. You take me any product, all this, any product in this world will categorize about these three things, right? So basically, what value you try to create is what you see. So for whom do you create value? Customers, right? Customers. Now tell me, who are the customers? Who are customers? Generic, no British language. Who are the customers by default? People, right? It means if you understand people, you understand customers. You agree with me?
Yes.
Right? Now when we talk about people, right, you understand what are the needs of the people. Needs, right? So if you break it down fundamentally, there are only three fundamental required for the human. The first is the emotional value. A person has emotions. Understand? Emotions. He wants to do something. He wants to do something functional. Right? Understand? So a person has emotions. You agree with that? Right? A person wants to do functional things. He wants a car. He wants a mobile where he can just press a button and he can talk to his wife, who is staying 2 kilometers away or 2,000 kilometers away. This is what the human needs are. Understand? Two is functional. Third is economical. Right? I want Audi, but 500 रुपये मिलेगा तो मैं सब लोग ले लेंगे आज. Right? Agree? If I get Audi today, if I skip Audi today and say this is 500 rupees, people who never expected that I want an Audi will come today. Say, 1,000 but what will Audi? Economical, right? And Indians, it is very much economical, right? Even before starting it, I'll give a small story, right? And this is also suspense thriller. What you can say, advertisement is coming into picture. And this is purely based on some of my case studies which I have read, right? To make you understand that if you understand just these three things, how it can change the way you even think of a business, right? This is a pure case study. How many of you know Baygon? Baygon. You TV ನೋಡಂಗಿಲ್ಲ ಶಬ್ದ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ Baygon spray ಗೊತ್ತಿದೆ ಕೈ ಎಬ್ಬಿಸ್ರಪ್ಪ. No, nobody knows. If you don't know Baygon, then you will not get the enjoyment of this process. How many of you know Baygon? Okay. So Baygon will try to enter in India. So Baygon is an American company. When they try to enter in India, so Baygon, they were selling the product spray, right? They were selling it somewhere between $10 to $15 in USA. Now what is $10 to $15? 600 to 700 rupees they were selling that one spray in America. And then they said in 2000, they said, hey, we'll expand our business. We'll go to India. There we will sell it 1/10 cost. 60 rupees marona. Mansar bid togotar. Right? How many of you think that if you sell cheap, you will get more customers? This is another myth you have, right? How many of you have this, right? He's selling this product mobile for 10,000 rupees. If I make a company and I make it for 8,000 rupees with same features, people will come running behind me and take that. This was the same assumption with Baygon went. And they said we'll price it as 60 rupees, right? And then they estimated their sales to be around $2 million in the first year. But after 1.5 years, they even did not touch a quarter. Under 0.25 million, right? And they are like, what has happened, right? 600 product, why people are not buying it, right? And here comes the suspense story. So now they said, let's do market research. Again, same things. Let's do emotional, functional, and economical analysis of these things. And they gave this project to IIM Ahmedabad students to say that you go research and see if you can find something out of this. So these people went to all the supermarkets and all those places and started housewives, right? Housewives. It means you have to understand these three functions of the housewife, right? Now, when these people talk to more than 500 plus people across 13 different states, they came with a very silly solution for which Baygon paid them 15 crore rupees. Okay, because they have to find out the analysis and tell them that they should not just give the problem, they should also give a solution for that, right? Research. When they came back and they said, I'll tell you the exact conversation which happened, right? It is available on the case study, you can go over the video. So they said we try to reach out to the family, I mean the housewives who are purchasing, and ask them that why are you not buying? This is so good product to kill cockroaches in your house. And Indian basically like, why did India overcome COVID? Because you are born immune, right? You are born immune. Even when vaccination would have given, you would still be strong. Because we are born, sanna kitta ka ball right? So that is how we are brought up, right? When these people talk to housewives, they said this is what happened. We asked them that why are you not buying this? Why are you not buying it? It's 60 rupees. She said, I don't need it. I don't need it. I said, why? If I give it at 30 rupees, their production cost in India was around 1.8 rupees. 1.8 rupees per spray. And they were selling at 60 rupees. They said, so it means they could sell at somewhere between even at a 30% gross margin at least 10 rupees. It means even if they sell 10 rupees, that's still profitable and sustainable business. She said, okay, if I give you 50% discount, 30 rupees, he said, why are you wasting my time? Just leave. He said, what if I give you 10 rupees? He said, even if you give for free, I am not going to take it. Now she said, now curious people, right? They said, why? He said, now tell me what is the problem. The problem is cockroach in house, right? Cockroach orsa ka begon after bake na na mane paragon na. You got the analysis behind it. See, this is just a kind of joke you feel, but you see the amount of investment went behind all these processes, right? To kill that cockroach, is it that cockroach ga begon na horda adela atko episode with clippers, this is the Indian way of living, right? So first kind of 4 important things is you understand the emotional, economic, functional, and then to the repetitive process he said that, see this 60 rupees you are talking about is worth of 1 week of vegetable for my family. So your competitor is now vegetable. It means the 60 rupees which I am spending, I was supposed to spend on bacon, now I am spending on my vegetable. Why? Fundamental things like emotional, functional, economical. Vegetable fulfills all those things, where bacon not even fulfills in one of those things. So, what is the fundamental? You have whatever product you build, ensure that you at least ensure one of these things is fulfilled. If you are able to do that, then it goes on sales, right? Then you don't have to do that marketing, spending, all those things are not required. So, what you do market research, and that is the process I'll tell you how you can start building a product or make business even before investing a single penny, right? So how I have set the context for this. All clear with all these things? Are you enjoying? Yes, sir. Should we continue? Or will conclude the session? Okay, next. Right? So first I talk about emotional value, right? Now a bit rush off because I have 30 presentation slides here to be talked about. Emotional value. Indians, I'm very specifically talking about emotional, right? How many of you are saying this? Why Amitabh Bachchan? I just told you a small story of Dairy Milk. In 2010, Dairy Milk, Delhi, they got a mosquito inside that, right? And after that, there was a worldwide ban. All over India, it was banned, right? Dairy Milk. They banned it so that the company was almost going to bankrupt, right? And that is what a marketing strategy came to the picture. They said, people idolize Amitabh Bachchan as trust, right? Amitabh Bachchan is sabka papa hai, right? He brings that brand, right? So let's say, if Amitabh Bachchan stands in front of you now, even for Twitter, you have a respect for him, right? Now they leverage his respect for building that brand, and that is when the campaign "Kuch Meeta Ho Jaye" came into picture, right? So they are using your emotions for Amitabh Bachchan to market their product, right? In the same way, how many of you see this Adidas? If you go to this Bapar Gali, right? Adidas is Adidas, so you want to feel premium. Why? Because your friend has also got Adidas, you want Adidas, but little change Adidas. What is that driving you? What is that driving you to make that purchase in Bapar Gali? Brand by default. I will break down. It's an emotional value you just triggering inside you. Maggie, you know the Maggie story, right? I don't need to explain that, right? Genuine fake watches. How many of you seen this on the right? Rolex watches, or you go to Majestic Bangalore, right? Ray-Ban, 100 rupees. Right? What is they trying to trigger? They're trying to use the image of a higher brand. iPhone. Why people buy iPhone? Does it allow you to have cracked apps? No. Nothing. Even if you download an app, you have to pay money. But still people go wait in line and pay money and get it. Why? Useless. Mirror phone is photo. Emotional value, right? So you see, if you are buying any of those products, trigger is emotional value. So if you understand the fundamental of this, everything will be clear. Next. So if you are also building, right, and in terms of second value, is functional value, right? If you are building something, make sure it is usable, right? You build this container for watering the plant. Now tell me who is going to buy it, right? I don't know which civil engineer constructed this house. It is fulfilling the need. It is fulfilling the need functionally, right? Bad service, Zomato, Swiggy, all those things, you see bad service. They tell you 10 minutes delivery. If it gets more than 10 minutes, in Twitter, Instagram, and all kind of review happen. Right? Why? Functional value. Right? And you can see the door is there. Why the stair is there? Functional, right? So whatever you do, right? At least you should work. If I have this mic, it should at least do what is fundamentally meant for. Okay. After your pendal, it can be seen secondary, but at least it is meant that if I walk there, it should get into the door. So basic thing is whatever you do, at least make it workable. Right? Next. Economical value. As I said, Indians. I don't need to explain this. I told you the other example, right? What Jio did to the telecom industry. Telecom data 199 rupees 1 GB per month to 139 rupees per day 1.5 GB. Changed the whole industry, right? And then it acquired more than 56% of market share in India. Right? Nirma sound right? So why did I add this slide? Because just some days back, my mother told me to go get a washing powder. So washing powder, I got wheel. She sent me back, she said, get Nirma. Why? It is 3 rupees cheaper. So to save the 3 rupees, she sent me 100 meters. So economical value, right? Gioni. Why did these phones like Redmi, Gioni, all those things penetrated? After 2016, as internet penetrated, right? There are only 2 players in the market: Samsung, Nokia, right? And Apple. But if you see the price range, Samsung was playing in the price range of 20,000 rupees, upper niche, right? Nokia was only 15,000 rupees, upper niche. Above that was Apple and all those things, which are like 25, 30, 50k. But Gioni said, in India, 70% of the people stay in tier 2 and tier 3 cities. They know how to access phones. That is why Gioni reached कि 5,000 रुपए में तुमको सब कुछ मिल जाएगा. Economical value. So what is Gioni company's core fundamental? One thing is, if you see here, this combination of 2 things also. In Gioni is fulfilling the emotional need of accessibility and the functional need of all the features as well. With plus economical also, because now he don't need to spend 10, 15, 20,000 rupees to do all those things, right? So if you understand all these things, right? Because I feel that this is what is it. If you know how to do this, right, then you'll do. Because most of the students who come to me, they say, I build WhatsApp in Kannada language. I say, why? Sir, if you see, I make WhatsApp in Kannada language very specifically reason because Karnataka has a population of 30 plus crores, right? If I charge 1 rupee from each of them, I make 30 crores per month, right? See, he had an idea. At least he did that analysis, right? But this is called as analysis paralysis. It's like India has 1.35 billion, 130 crores population. Ella one toothpaste, 10 rupees toothpaste, 100 rupees. I am making 135 crores on first month, which is not possible, right? So you have to understand the customer needs. Is what I try to do. Okay? Clear with all the things? Next. Right? Now this is one story going behind this, right? Now you think graph again, but I'll make it another story again. Anybody, any iPhone holders here? iPhone, right? Okay. Now I tell you. Now first I talk about entrepreneur. I have an iPhone. Assume this is an iPhone, right? Assume, right? In this, so again this is people, right? This is all the people. How many of these people will buy this iPhone if I keep it today? Let us say it is iPhone 15 launch. How many of you will this? Now, because you need to understand this also. This is what the process calls as customer segmentation. If everybody is customer, nobody is a customer, right? So when iPhone is launched, right? You see, starting on the 9 years later, Even the product is not yet launched, but in front of iPhone stores you have seen, right? Or let us say the Marvel movie fans and all those movie fans, right? Or actor fans, right? Picture release ಆಗಾಗಿಲ್ಲ ಅದನ್ನ ನಾಲ್ಕು ಸ್ಪೆಲ್ಲ ಜಂಗಾರ ಹೊಂದ್ಬಿಡ್ತಾರಲ್ಲಿ picture ನಾಲ್ಕು release ಆಗೈತೆ ನಾ ಏನು ತಗೋ excitement, right? So these are first set of people whom we call as innovators, right? They like to experiment things. ಅದು ಹೆಂಗಿರ್ತದೆ ಏನಿರುತ್ತೆ all secondary. So the people who stand in lines in your iPhones, right? These are innovators. They just want to try out new things. This is first set of people, right? Now, why I'm telling you is also I'll tell you at the end of this slide. So the second set of people, right? So after this set of, let us say 20 out of 100 people, these 20 people have purchased the phones. Now they went home, right? And then their friend sees it. Friend sees it, right? Oh, it looks good, right? Something new, right? Now these are second set of people who now go and they book their iPhones online, Amazon or whatever. But they don't have that level of excitement, right? Box legal ಸಿಕ್ತೈತಿ ಅಲ್ಲ ಅಂಗಡಿ ಮುಂದೆ ಹಾಕಿ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಮೇಲಿದ್ರೆ ಫೋಟೋ ತಗೊಂಡು no, right? This second set of people who like okay, it feels good. The first set of people do not know anything about the product, nothing, no features, specifications. ಇಲ್ಲಪ್ಪ phone ಅಂತಾನೈತಿ what market ಅಲ್ಲಿ ತಗೊಂಡ್ರೆ right? Second set of people, they see something has come up, they analyze bit things and then they buy it, right? These are called as early adopters, right? Now why startups fail? It is because these things happens in all the startups. So if I just put a graph here, another graph here, the sales shoots up till here and then it falls here. But only after you, let us say this 100, this is 10%, this is another 10%, only after your sales cover 20% of this graph, where early majority, right? Who is that majority? Now this phones are available in all the stores in India. Now you go and purchase the store, right? When this process starts happening in a company, that is when you say you have established a startup, right? And then what people think, hey, 20% they are already competent now. 20 people have already got my iPhone, right? It means I am going to be a successful company, and that is why most of the companies go nose dive down, right? And then there are early majority, right? And they buy. And then there are late majorities. So if you say early majorities are kind of people of us, right? Who see, okay, phone is going on, we are right. Now what late majorities are fathers of parents, right? Now they want to have accessibility. So what we do, they don't know anything about the product. We purchase the product and give it to them. You take it, right? Because they don't have any idea. It doesn't matter, but just to have an accessibility, we person give the product. And then there are this kind of people, laggards, right? So what is one? It's like Kim Jong of North Korea, right? Now what does that mean? Duniyadag ಏನು ಆಗಲಿ ನಮಗೆ ಏನು ಫರಕ್ ಬೀಳಂಗಿಲ್ಲ. These are the people who do not take action for anything. These people buy touchscreen phones because keypad phone doesn't exist anymore. You got this? Right? So when you're building a startup, so if you see I'm going a bit core now in the deep, you understand you have to have this graph, right? So you have to keep pushing yourself until you reach that early majority graph. Once you do that, that is when you have started a company now, right? Clear with this picture? We'll go next. I think we always spend around 40 minutes now. Okay. Now all these things is done. I here. Now tell me, how do I start my startup? Right? You have 100 ideas. You have 100 ideas. How do I decide on that? So I'll tell you. See, you don't copy ideas just because it already is successful. You do idea because you know how to do it better, right? See, I tell you, my startup today is an extension of what I am as a founder, right? Even if they take away my startup today, I'll still be going to colleges and talk about innovation, entrepreneurship, business, education, because that's what I care about, right? So startup education, but I feel like having a startup will give you more freedom to express the way I want to do it. Is why I started a startup, right? So even before building a startup, I had already started up 4,500. After training 4,500 students, I already know that this is something which I am passionate about, right? But then how to make it number wise, right? How do I specifically here? Very specifically, we have to be passionate about it. Passion, right? It may be anything, music, dance, singing, calligraphy, what your passion. Secondly, you should be also good at it. Right? You should be good at it. Third is you should have made some money out of it. It may be Mehndi also. Doesn't matter. It should be a Mehndi also, but you should have at least made 10 rupees out of it prior. Because that confidence you get after making the 10 rupees, right, is phenomenal. Right? Next, it should have some impact on society. Right? When did I realize that I want to make a startup? Because when I saw that I was not getting placed, but the students I trained are getting placed at 9 lakh rupees package, I said, this is helping people, right? I said, now why do I need this job? And I'll start something of it. Because ultimately, again, here is a factor of people coming into picture, right? People. And then health, right? One of the major things you have to also take care about is your health, right? So I'll tell you about my story next. Right? If you see my passion, I belong to a teacher community. My father is director of a college. I have two elder sisters who are both MSc in different domains and are teachers. Right? My cousins is a principal of Gomtesh Vidyapit. Right? So I belong to that education community. I know the crux of education community. Last 20 years, I know how these teachers are struggling day and night. Right? And that is why I said I'll be a teacher, but I'll not go and work in any institution. Why? Because they make them work from morning 8 to evening 5 and still don't pay them. Right? This is my market research. Right? Right? So I have seen that process. I said that this is where I have a head, I have to make something this is my domain expert, right? Teaching was my passion, right? Now you tell me to talk on let us say technology, I start thinking about technology, right? So I said that is my passion. Next is what is I good at? I built mobile applications and technology, right? Communication, I kind of like I am able to communicate and tell my words to the other person, express it out well, and then mobile app, right? So I think I'm good in these things. Next, money. I made my first 100 rupees in my class 7, right? So using this technology, I used to format systems, right? In my 7th standard, so my computer teacher called me home, so that because her system was not working, I said, I have to format it. I said, I'll format it, but I'll charge 100 rupees, right? And then she gave me 100 rupees, right? At 7th standard, it was like almost 10, 12 years back, but that 100 rupees made me sure that it means I can also earn money. So for me, that 100 rupees worth is more than any funding I have raised today. Why? Because that builds you a kind of confidence inside you to take you to the next level. Next is impact on society. I said that I have already more than, in my first attempt I made 18 students place. And then health, right? I faced a lot of health issues because of technology, all those things. I said that, now see what is the combination of all those things? Education startup, teaching startup with technology, right? Which with a backing for students. Why students, right? A combination of this is my startup, which is called as Brightbee. Got to know? Now, how the idea came into picture? You have to do it for yourself. I'll share all these templates also with you because these are not available on internet. This is just what I try to do for myself. Experimentation, right? I said, okay, idella could ಏನು ಮಾಡುವುದು one specific point where you can go. So then I started to Brightbee. Okay, next. Okay, so that is what Brightbee was born. So what problem says? So I help online educators scale. So what is the problem with educators? What I saw that by not giving any of the professors available here, I did a market research for Belgaum where there are more than 55 schools. In one school on average there are 200 teachers. In that more than 100, so out of let's say 100 teachers, only 5 to 10% of are aided teachers. What do I mean aided? They are getting a salary of somewhere between 65,000 and above. Below that, there are more than 85 to 90% of the teachers who are more than 12 years, 15 years experience and are getting at an average of 12 to 15,000 rupees. And just to make an extra income of 5,000 rupees, these people take extra tuitions at their house after 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. So morning 8 to evening 5 they teach, they go home, they have some break, 6:30 to 8:39 just to earn an extra income of 5,000 rupees. So on average 15 to 18,000 rupees is the income. Apart from this, they have to write all the syllabus copy and this notes and that notes which nobody reads, right? So I said, can I help an educator make 3x of the revenue by investing 1 hour of our time per week? This is my problem, which I said, can I solve this? Because this educator will be able to spend 1 hour per week, and if I am able to make a 30 to 50k, is what? So in this COVID, when I started this process, We have helped more than 120 educators who were earning 8 to 10,000 rupees, now are making more than 60 to 70,000 rupees and have resigned from their job and they're making it successfully. Right? So that is what Bright was all about. So these are all the challenges. They don't have time, they are domain experts, but not technology experts. They don't have technological knowledge, but they can invest on capital, technology and all those things. So I said, all this problem I'll try to solve as Brightbee. Next. Right? And I help them do end-to-end process. So what do I say to educator? I say, okay, you know how to teach negotiations. You just come to me within 10 days. Every week I'll help you get 100 students. Right? You only teach 1 hour and you go. That is done. Right? And I'll ensure you at least make 30 to 50K per month. Right? And he's happy. Now I am also happy because I am also making a commission cut out of that. So that is all model. I don't need to get into technicals. Right? Next. Let's start funny, right? How many of people are excited, right? Guess what I put in the track. Right? So now how many of you feel you need funding? So this is, I'm not sure, this is, this Rock का particular company start करना है क्या को बनी? Only 1-2%? There were I think around 30-40 entrepreneurs. I think last 40-45 minutes brought a moral down. That is a real appa. Inshallah, something what a company would have been. Yes, no. Okay, then we'll conclude the session today.
I need funding, yes.
Yes. I am asking about the other people, right? Okay. I think we'll conclude the session then. I'll take one session for him then. Not required for you, right? Because it doesn't matter to you at all. I'll tell you what is entrepreneurship, or let us say, what is the fundamental principle of BBA and BCA or all those things, right? The set of students. What is the one thing a student of this category should have? Bachelor's in Business Administration. Very heavy words, right? Business Administration. What is the one quality any of the student has? If you go and read why government has said all those things, but there is a fundamental, right? If I say this is a business guy standing in front of me, what should be his fundamental one thing I should expect from him? Sorry?
Profits.
Not profit. Profit is when you talk and you make sales. Not even confidence. He should have the capability to at least speak for himself. Right? At least speak for yourself. Right? So some of the case studies are, so just to make you laugh, I'll tell you one of the case studies, right? So why people do engineering and degrees and all those things in India? Can you tell me? Why? Huh? Parents is there. Parents is there. But there is a Ponzi scheme behind that. Huh? Society is there, right?
We have been learning a lot about science and we have never focused towards commerce side. The STEM-based education.
No, I'm talking about any graduation. It might be engineering which I did also, which is not valued, right? But how many? 65% of the Indian students today are unemployed. Where is the security? I'll tell you very specifically. Our Madhvi card not degree again theda khattam they do, right? Right? That is a fundamental reason. Parents help her. But why you are also going is also because you feel कि आज आगे जाकर college जाकर entry try करो, right? This is what degree people do. So I was talking to MBA students of Jain College, right? And I talked to them, why are you doing it? These are MBA students, right? They're proper MBA students who are graduating next 2-3 months. I said, why are you here? So degree is acceptable, right? Even I never wanted to do civil engineering. I said I was going to technology, right? But it's family, okay. See, degree is parents' choice. Do you agree? Yes. But masters is your own choice. I said I will not do masters. If I do masters, I will do it from in MBA only. But only after I have built 2-3 years of business. Why? Because they give me ground knowledge and then I do business. So I said, if they are doing what you can say, post-graduation also, there are 2 reasons. One thing is, they did not find proper groom or bride. Shikila. Right? Or they want to postpone it by next 2 years. Right? I think nobody laughs. Right? But that's right. See, one of the simple things is, leave about company building and all those things. You should be at least capable of standing for yourself. And that is why I said that, why I was giving you this, because I am promising that by the end of the session, right, I will be taking 5 people as interns for my company, right? And if they have a startup idea, I help them do all those things, right? Now I have already given you a hint what I am going to do. Now if you want to speak, you speak, otherwise it's left up to you, right? So let's talk funding. Switch to the other people. No, wait. The same slide. There are 2 more slides left. Next. Okay. So how many feel funding is required? Now let us say, okay, we agree to the terms that funding is required. Okay, agree to the terms. I started my company with a capital of 3,000 rupees, right? Why? Because I started with such a model that मेरे को पैसा ही नहीं चाहिए company start करने के लिए. Why? I'll take free Zoom account, 45 minutes for educators, no investment, 0 investments, right? Then what I need to find out educators who want to do it, right? How can do it? You go to Facebook, you find hundreds of groups of professional trainers. You go to YouTube, you will find at least hundreds of people who are teaching one or other thing. I directly, and then if you go to the about page, you will find their email ID, right? And if good, you also find their phone number there. Call up. I said this is what I do. I ensure that you will get 100 students per week, and you will at least make minimum of 15 to 20,000 rupees. But I'll take 40% commission out of that. And I'll do end-to-end process. All you have to do is come 1 hour, teach and go. And they said, 1 class mata 100 rupees. Why no? Right? In the same way, right? So when you're starting up, right? So there are various schemes. So now, if you see my idea what I started, right? This is a very asset-like model, this is what you call it, right? No much investment is required. But then over a period of time required. But then let us say you want to build company, something like Sharat, right? Which is like a mechanical company, right? You want to have machines, you have to have all these products, things. One nut till product, right? So a lot of schemes available for the government, right? So there are all the schemes, right? But I will be talking about only 2-3 schemes which are helpful to you right now, right? Very specifically, now how can it be categorized? It can be categorized on various set of investments. So I will also share all the slides with you so that you also have access to all those things. Up to 5x, right? You have Niti EIR, MITY type, Startup India Seed Fund. If you're looking something for 5 to 10 to 20 lakh rupees, we have programs such as Nidhi Prayas, DSIR, and again Startup India scheme. And if you're into prototype and prototype development, you get seed funding somewhere between 15 to 50 lakh rupees, which is for SISF, again from Government of Canada, which is a debt and equity combination of both, right? And then you go to like early traction like 50 lakh, 2 crores, and then the 20 lakh rupees comes into picture. We'll not focus on the second side, right? Because first we should talk, and once we stop, we'll build a startup. Okay? Next slide. So first of all, I'll talk about for early stage startups, very specifically a lot of fellowships. Now, what do I mean by fellowships? I am in college. In my first year, second year, maybe graduate, postgraduate, right? I have an idea, right? And I want to work on that, right? But I can invest some time on that as well, right? Then we have a lot of things. Very specifically, I give you the denomination also, how much capital you get and all those things. So we have Nidhi EIR and Nidhi Prayas and Nidhi SSS, because these are 3 major things you should focus on to start with. Just go next slide. Right? So first is Nidhi EIR. You get a fellowship for idea. I have an idea, right? I have an idea. Normally, from fundamentals to a level where I at least find something. I get a test that, okay, this is how to build that process. You need minimum 6 to 12 months, right? But in 12 months, who is going to give capital, right? Kim Jong? No, right? So government will give you, right? Government will give you a monthly salary, kind of salary of 30,000 rupees, along with, and you can do it along with your college projects, right? So you are attending college, but you also want to build a company. Basically, like I said, just trying it out. And then it is like a salary you give. They give 30,000 rupees per month so that you survive, and you also invest some of those capital on building whatever you want to do, and that goes for to a period of 12 months. It means for 12 months you will get 30,000 rupees, and then at the end of 12 months you have to show something something that this is what was my thing, and I feel when you get that confidence, basically see, the game is all about confidence. I know this is working, and then I'm going to full scale it. And then you can go for seed fund of 20 lakh, 30 lakh, 50 lakh and all those things and start. So this is like a beginner level. I have an idea, I want to start something, tomorrow I need funds. You can apply for Nidhi IIC, right? And then what you can do, so basically you should have a degree, kind of degree or pursuing some kind of degree, right? Otherwise, diploma and all those are not eligible. It is because once you're kind of that degree mindset, right, you at least have some kind of common things which is required in the community. Basic mindset, basically, to say it is a mindset criteria. And then you should not have any parallel source of income or any other fellowship, right? ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು application ಹಾಕ್ತೀನಿ 30,000 ರೂಪಾಯಿ ತೆಗಿತೀನಿ ಯಾರೊಂದು 30,000 ರೂಪಾಯಿ ಹಾಕ್ತೀನಿ application. So you cannot have two fellowships at one point of time. You can have this. First very scheme which you all can be part of, right? Just to experiment, as I said, right? I want to do something. You will give me money, government will give you money to do all these things, right? Next is Nidhi Prayas. Now let us say I am a startup like Sharad, right? It is not technology, it is a product, right? I want to build this kind of machine, I want to build a new set of new kind of mic that wherever I roam, automatically will roam behind me. This is a product, right? So you need capital investment for that. So you get up to 10 lakh rupees upfront process, up to 10 lakh rupees because machinery has to be bought, all the devices has to be bought. So give you upfront 10 lakh rupees as grant, which you can use up to 12 to 18 months. So you are given a time of 18 months because product start needs bit more time to do that. And very specifically for hardware based startups, right? Difference very specific difference between EI and Nidhi Prayas. If you want to build a hardware based startup, go for Nidhi Prayas. If you are going for something kind of technology based, go for Nidhi EI. And then SSP definitely will come only after you have crossed any of those things. So after you have crossed a journey of 6 months, 1 year, then you go to Nidhi SSP, seed support of average of minimum, you get something more than 30 lakhs to 50 lakhs, right? Such kind of programs can be elevated, which I have also won and Sharad also won, right? So you can get capital up to 50 lakh rupees as a grant. Because now you have overcome that validation stage. Validation stage somewhere, now you are confident this is going to work. You give me money or not, I am going to work, right? Do you want to support me or not? Is the other way of saying it around, right? So Nidhi SSP, but this program is only valid if you, let us say, kind of do those things, because the kind of maturity you will go through all those two processes, maybe it is hardware startup or software startup, that is what makes you eligible for these things, right? But otherwise you can also apply for these things if you are ready. But now, what I am talking about, all this ready, right? What is this things? Now what ready? Should my product be ready? Should my company be ready? Or what are things I have to make ready from my side, right? Just a pitch deck of 8 to 10 pages, right? 8 to 10 pages. And what to do that, how we did, I think Sharad can also put some light once we conclude the session, that how he also had his experience of winning the Elevate grant, and I'll share in the process while that what did I pitch so that I got that support, right? So we'll do that. This one next. Yeah, these are again startup media point schemes which happens only after 1.5 year of your journey of startup, which is very much irrelevant to talk right now. Right? Yeah. Okay, back. Okay, here, right? Pitch to the other presentation. No, not this. No, this. No, this. So we have like 20 minutes? 20 minutes? Okay, we'll wind up in 20 minutes. Okay? So I'll not go in detail, but I'll tell you what kind of things has to be done. So this is the exact template which government gave to us, which I have prepared, right? So this is the government of Karnataka given template which I have used, so that you get the first nuance of how the template is given and how we prepare for that, right? Next slide. Next slide, right? So what is the first page? First page you have to give company snapshot. Registered company. Is it a registered company? Basically, if you want to go at that level of funding, you should have a private limited company, right? Date of incorporation, when was the company registered, address of the incorporation office, name of the founder, what is the company mission, that where are you heading to, right? So you can make statements, for example, as you already about Bright B. So the vision of a company is to ensure quality education for students and a better life for educators. This is my vision statement, right? So the same way you say, what is the ideal vision you want to reach? and your email ID and your company website if you have, right? Next, what is the problem statement? You remember the slide which I showed, problem statement of mine? They don't have time, they are not tech savvy, all those things. So very specific, 3 to 5 points, crisp, right? You cannot say no, teachers don't make money. Why they are not making money? You can put statement that they are investing minimum of 60% of their time in their secure job and still not able to make even 15,000 rupees. Very specific point. Like just you have to make 2-3 points, which stands, which gives you with one thing. It shows that you have understanding of the market or people. I would say not market, people, right? So you show 3 problems, right? This educator has this problems. That is why I am coming with a solution. If your problem is not strong, your solution is not going to stand. Right? As I said, right? Let's go back to the example of big one. If the problem is not strong, the solution doesn't matter. The problem has to be solid. Next. Right? Solution is again how you are going to solve that problem. You either solve it with Jharu or you solve it with Paragon. Right? It is your solution. So, if you go to her, you say that this is Paragon which lasts for 3 years. It can be used for weighing also and killing cockroaches also. But this is 30% extra. Maybe she would have bought it. Right? Or you say there is a Jharu which has a cup in front of that. Right? A better version of Jharu. Right? So what it does, if any insects come, you can directly, because Jharu you have to put it right? You can directly put the Jharu up, it has a cup and you can throw it out of your house. Right? This can be a solution for that product. And just giving kind of, let's say, examples. Okay? So, solution is 100% done if you know the problem well. Right? Next. I think Sharad already talked about all these things. Value proposition, customer segment. Even I spoke about what is the value you are bringing. The top 3 things. Emotional, economical, function. That is the value you are bringing. Customer segments, right? I told you about the curve. Early adopters, majority of the people, and then they are like process. So you see, इसमें से किसको target करेंगे हम, right? What is that number? Out of 100 people, if 21 people buy my product, it is well proved that this is where starting of the process. So that distribution channel, product service. Do we like do the offline service? If the product is offline stuff or is it online, then I do marketing and all those things. Key partners, if there are any partners, right? Very specifically. So let us say who are my partners for Brightbee? Amazon Web Service. I host my platform online. Amazon service is giving me to host it, right? For him, it might be the product machine, right? So it might be the late machine partners or industry partners who are providing raw materials, kind of partners. Revenue, I think Shabir spoke fantastic on revenue. I don't need to speak anything on that. Market size, right? This is very much important, right? Market size, right? So what do I mean? Remember I spoke about WhatsApp for Kannada, right? Where is the market size? Now tell me, which person staying in a village, something like, let us say, Belgundi, right, wants a WhatsApp in Kannada? The market size itself is, what do you say, 30 crores, right? And then, how will you make revenue? So market size has to be good amount of money, right? Where at least, so ideal market size for investors says that it should have a overall market cap of something between 1 billion, right? If you have 1 billion market size, you say I am going to have only 3 to 5% of that business in the period of next 3 to 5 years, right? This shows market size. Because if market ही नहीं है, क्या करोगे? Right? Competition. How many of you feel competition is important or not important? Important? Right. Why? Because I tell you a solid example of competition. Bharat Pay, you know everything about Ashwini Grover, right? Ashwini Grover, you know who is Ashwini Grover? So this is the statement he made in Shark Tank. He says, पहला बंदा मार्केट को सिखाता है QR code, right? People did not know how to use QR code, right? Phone Pay, Google Pay came into picture. They spent a customer acquisition cost of somewhere between 250 rupees to acquire one customer. 250 rupees. And then they teach me QR code how to make. You were getting all this payment thing, right? Now I was cashback 60. Why are we doing that? That is customer acquisition. That was the customer acquisition cost they were giving to you as reward so that you get used to it, right? And then Bharat Pay came into picture. They said they built a business of 27 crores on that. So what is that? Competition is good. Why? Because it's like it is validating your process. The market research is required for you, right? Now, to start Brightbee, it took me 3.5 years to have that concise problem statement. It looked like, nah, problem again. To get to that specific problem, it took me 3.5 years, right? Now, what Bharat will leverage on? All the market research was done by Google and all those things, alright? And they entered the market. They were making on an average 20 crore rupees per day. Why? Because today the registered company from tomorrow they started revenue making, right? So competition is good. Because you feel that competition is already giving, he is selling that mic for 10,000 rupees, I'll sell for 8,000 rupees, doesn't work that way. Or he is already a branded company. Why will he charge me, right? So if you see, EduTech is one of the crowded company. You know, Udemy, YouTube, Unacademy, Byju's, and those things. These players are already there. Now what are they validating? They are validating that EdTech startup works in India, right? What I did, I said that I will not target this set of people. Byju's is targeting, let us say, this people between KG to 12, I will not target them. Unacademy, UPSC, IPSC, right? I will not target them. Who will I target? I will target people based on my, again, I am going to my passion and my knowledge. What? I train 4,500 students. They are the students, I said they don't even know how to speak, right? I said I teach them skills, which is important for their company placement, right? So basically, I sell a course of 10,000 rupees to show that how should you crack an interview, right? And there are people running behind me say, okay sir, I want to buy it, right? So there's always a market. All you do is, if there is police here, what do you do? Right? These are the fundamental of things. So competition is good. Next. Socio-economic impact, right? So people basically don't put so much of focus on this, but if you are getting grants, right? So have you heard the tagline, government's work, God's work, right? Because God helps people, right? And that is what the government went to do, right? So you have to show the government or tell them that whatever you, so government wants to help people in terms of employment, education, upskilling and all those things. You say that in all these agendas, basically I say that I am helping at least 5 lakh people in the next 5 years to do all this employment, right? So what are you doing? You are reducing the burden of the government, right? Now the simple thing is, as I am government, why should I pay you, right? Why should I pay you? If you are helping, so I say I am helping people get jobs, right? I am helping them upskill to the next level, tier 2, tier 3, doesn't have quality access. So these are the same things. So basically what I said is that if one student gets placed from tier 2, right? So my solid case study has been from near Hubli diploma student, right? That one student got placed, right? Is as good as he is feeding 5 people. You get that? So if one student gets job through my company, right? So that 25,000 rupees is not for one. That is building a socio-economic impact on the other 4 dependents on the family, right? So indirectly 5 lakh into 5, 25 lakh people can get to the next level using Brightbee, right? These things. Next. Right? And then this is your team credentials accomplishments, right? And I think I don't need to explain much here because whatever you are, they would have already got to know in the last 5 minutes which you have spoke, right? So I'll not put, but some credentials are useful. Next. Next, project milestone timer. Basically, tell them that how much fund you want, and then tell them how you are going to use that fund, right? So that is what is. So I'll share this template with madam, right? So that you can also have access from her all those things. The earlier one, innovation on first. Third. Right. Next. Right? These are some of the common questions which I get. So if you see officially I have concluded my session. If you have any questions, I'll be open to that. But some of the questions which continuously people ask me is that I don't have money, can I start? Definitely you can start. Right? I told you how you can do that process as well. Basically some of the questions, because I go to a lot of engineering colleges, they say I don't have an MBA, right? But then I tell you, if you get into a startup, right, if you get in the startup, just in the process of right? So you don't need anything. See, if you have MBA, it helps. It helps. Definitely it helps. But then, as I said, right, riding a bike on road is different and doing it on a laptop is different. Right? So, what if I fail and lose money? Right? You start second company. Right? That's what you do. This is my third startup, right? So you can always do it, right? Will it really work? I am putting my heart, effort, and all those things, right? Will it really work? Right? It may not, and you should be okay with that, right? Because, but I tell you, if you start your own company, the kind of research knowledge you get in all those departments like finance, technology, product building, and all those things, right? You failure startups founders, if you go, right, you will have a starting package of 15 to 18 lakh rupees. I'm telling you about a failed startup. When I failed, right, I failed with 2 ventures, right? There were people who were ready to hire me for 12, 14 lakh rupees. Why? Because they know that this is from our client, right? Because because he is like, it is like sugar, right? You put it anywhere, it will work, right? You give him, okay, from tomorrow you have to do finance. Okay, I do finance. You have to do technology. Okay, I know about technology, right? So that is how you get a grounded person. Right? Where can I get funding? I have explained you all those things in detail. Now, who will support me? Definitely, your college is there to help you support them. But anything required from my side, I am reachable. My Instagram ID is Abhi Jakarnavar, right? ABHIJAKKANNAVAR. You can always reach out to me as well. And if you feel anything of that sort, I'll be glad to help you out, right? I'm open for any questions. Thank you. Any questions?
Hello, sir. Sir, actually, my question was related to Nidhi EIR, which you spoke about. Yeah, to avail that scheme, do we require only an idea or pitch, or do we need some proofs to show to the government or something like that?
So if you see, these are your fellowship card. Hello, girl. Okay. So there is fellowship rate of 30,000 rupees for that, right? So here the basic thing is you should have an idea to work upon, right? It is not required that you should already have a product, because if we see the very specifically mentioned applicant pursuing or completed science of engineering degree or for 4 years or 3 years, right? And it's trying to build something of their own, right? So not mandatory, not mandatory. You have an idea, but then you have to go through all this process. You have to show them that why it is feasible for you to give me that 30,000 rupees, because along with you there will be 100 people other competing. So you show the feasibility and then you get it.
Sir, what's the process to apply for that scheme?
So for that process, you have various incubation centers, right? So one of such incubation centers is coming in Belgaum, that is KTech is there, right? You have VTU, which is coming, so you can go and apply for Media. Or like I say, very immediately, you have in Hubli, you can go to Sandbox Startups, right? Just go to Google and type for startup incubators, right? You at least find around 70 to 80 incubators. You can apply to any incubator, but preferably try to apply which is nearest to your college. Anything else? No? Yes, please.
Sir, as a lot of web-based startups have already come up.
Okay.
Now the future is Web 3.0, which everyone is talking about. So I wanted to know, what are the fields in which we can apply Web 3.2 applications like 3D modeling?
Okay, so I'll put it in another way. Okay, now you're telling me there is a new kind of hammer coming up. You are asking me whether I should go on beating it. You got my answer? See, there are fundamental problems. I said, don't run behind the technology, right? What was the example of? What was that? They had the technology of spray, right? Technology spray. Did it work, right? One thing is, are you expert in Web 3.0?
So I am keenly interested.
Yeah, see, interested is definitely appreciated. But are you good in that at least, right? Or at least see, for a first startup, right? Don't try to run behind, let us say, blockchain, Web 3.0, Meta, and all those things, right? Because that requires huge capital. These are not yet proven, I'll tell you. This is still in the initial stage of that early adopters, Web 3.0, right? Nobody knows about it, right? So you keep learning on it, and then you, in the meanwhile, find what is your interest in building a startup, right? And then you see if that problem which you are interested can be solved using any of the technology of Web 3.0, right? Keep problem as focus, and then see which technology can be used for that. Don't give technology, say what can I find problem is there, right? So go approach it that way. Anything else? Anything else? No? Right, okay. So one last thing, as I said, we are also looking for people who are seriously interested to work with us, they will also personally work with me as well. But as I said, right, it is not very easy as you think, right? So what you have to do, in the last 1.5 hour, right, there are small things which I am going to do now, right? You can take out your phones, okay? You can take out your phones, right? You can take out your phones, take a picture, right, and tag me, right, and then below that you share one key learning you had in the whole last 1.5 hour, right? Now what it will help me do? It will help me filter students, right? So if you had seriously, let us say, listened to me or understood what you have done in the last 1.5 hour, definitely the insights you write on the photo will be of great heights, right? So, and based on that, I'll filter it out and I'll reach out to you. Fine? Okay? So, you can just open a notepad and type, just open a notepad and type my Instagram handle. Okay? You have to tag, open it. I'll be taking 5 of them, okay? 5 of them who have the good kind of insights. ऐसे नहीं कि emotional economical function बोल दिया and then right? So I'll also help you in the process. But then if you're seriously interested, right? Seriously interested to knowing that education is part of your forte where you want to learn a lot of things, right? Okay. So right at the rate ABHI JAKK ANN and ABAR, right? So you can take a photograph, tag this handle, right? And below that, write your one key insight of the day. Or you can also put your feedback there as well, right? You can also put your feedback, right? And then we'll go through it. And then from the shortlisted, my team will reach out to you and then we'll help you. Let's say you want to have one-on-one consultation of very specifically in terms of building a startup. Let us say you already have an idea and you see how you want to work out on that process, right? I'll also give that personal touch with you, but as I'm already associated, I'll also be in touch, and then anything required from my side, I will be there. Okay? Done? One last thing. Did you enjoy the movie? Yes? Great. Thank you. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, sir, for making this session a fun learning one. I'm sure all of us thoroughly enjoyed every bit of this session. We thank you for your valuable time and knowledge you have shared with us. Now I request Neha to propose vote of thanks.
On behalf of all the students and staff, we are glad to be standing and expressing a word of thanks. A special thanks to our resource person, Mr. Sharad Patil and Mr. Abhishek Japannagar, for educating us on the topics, which will definitely help the budding entrepreneurs sitting here. And we surely have great takeaways from the sessions. We would also like to thank our beloved principal, Dr. P.M. The President of IIC, Dr. P.R. Karkul, the IIC Convener, Professor Dr. Nandini Francis, and our Startup Coordinator, Professor Nachiket Hamatkar, for organizing this session. We hope you all had a great time and have a good day.